You're listening to the Inspirational Power Hour, and it's your host, Chandra Wise. Listen, guys, today I'm so very excited to share with you. We have a special guest stopping by, and he has some brand new music that we're going to play a little later. But, guys, I'm really super excited to share this gentleman with you. Now, you go by a couple of names, Will McMillan. How do you want us to refer to you? What do you want to be called?
Will McMillan is fine. That's fine.
But you also have, you go by another name. You have a group of musicians that you work with, Will Band. Is that correct?
Yep, Will Band, yep.
So let's start at the beginning. Give us a little bit of your story about how you got started in gospel music and in music ministry.
Oh, sure. Well, I was born and raised in church. I might as well have been born on the front pew of the church. That's kind of how it all started. And I have a family of musicians. My dad is my pastor. I started playing piano and organ when I was 10, and from then on, just things progressed, and started to kind of get influence and connections, and then I started playing professionally. And then about 2-3 years ago, I was kind of led to really, because throughout my whole career just as a musician, I've been writing songs. I've had visions of me just kind of doing my own thing, but I never really pursued it until I would say 3 years ago. And I put out a single last year, and then here we are. So I know we don't have much time to really get into it, but yeah, every phase and every phase of ministry has just been God ordained. So I'm happy to be here now.
Now, you've had the opportunity to work with quite a few people in gospel music. So tell us a little bit about some of the people that you've worked with.
For sure. Well, I traveled with Jonathan Nelson for 12 years. I played on his last 4 records, and I wrote on not this coming record, but the record before this. I wrote the song "You Are Good." I traveled with Tasha Cobb for 4 years. I played on her record, One Place, and did some arranging on for Praise on it. And I traveled with William McDowell, played on both of his last records, Sound of Revival Part 1 and 2, and I wrote the song, or co-wrote the song with him, Send the Rain. And then I was MD for Travis Green's latest record, Crossover. And I've done some writing, but those are the main people that I've worked for.
Now, sir, that's quite a resume. I mean, that's a significant group of names. Nothing to take lightly.
They're awesome. They're super. It's been amazing. And I've been throughout those years, I've been able to really pull from them. And they're great friends of mine. So they're awesome.
So you've been serving and working with all of these amazing gospel artists over the years, and now you're here at this place. You have your own music out, and you're sharing with the world as a solo artist. So what has that transition been like, kind of going from behind the scenes a little bit, if you will, to now standing on your own and you being in the forefront? Talk to us a little bit about that transition.
Well, it's definitely been a journey, and I'm definitely feeling every bit of the transition. The one thing I can say, throughout those years of traveling and serving, I was watching, and I was kind of taking, because this is something that I just always knew that I was called to do. I never really pushed for it or asked for it. I just always knew that this was something that I was, that I was going to eventually, end up doing. But I've always watched just different things and how, they led their teams and different things like that. So now that I'm here, it's just been, I'm finding out so many different things about myself and my own artistry. It's amazing, honestly. And I know that we're in the beginning of it, and there's so much that I'm excited to learn about and explore. And I'm just happy I'm here. I've always I'm happy that I finally get to really share, within my heart and my story and those things. And it's like I'm here. And there's a bareness, a here-ness that I'm just enjoying and embracing. So
So, Will, after playing with so many significant and really strong musical personalities, has it been difficult kind of finding your own musical identity, or is that something that just comes natural to you?
It comes naturally because every number one, because those like the people that I work for, they all have their distinct, you know, sound and like place in the kingdom. And just I'm a servant first, so I've learned to adapt and adjust to those different, you know. But it's like what God allowed, well, the capacity God allowed me to serve them in is totally different than the capacity that God has allowed me to serve, within the realm of my artistry. It's totally different, and it's actually exciting because it's like when people hear a song from me, like it's certain people that even say like, well, I never even knew that you played for this person or you did this, because your sound is totally different than what we've been, kind of hearing from these other people. And I'm just like, it's amazing because I can distinctly have my own identity. Like it's more of like an exciting kind of opportunity thing.
All right, guys, listen again. We are talking to gospel recording artist Will McMillan. He has a brand new single that's out, Best Thing, and we're going to take a listen to that in just a few minutes. So make sure that you stick around for that. Will, I have a quick question for you now. To anybody that's never heard your ministry, never heard your music, how would you describe your music and your message?
Well, my ministry is I believe my songs are transparent. They're all of my songs are conversational. It's conversations I've had like with God. Like the title of my record is entitled My Story, and I'm basically kind of sharing my story through my music. And I would say that my ministry and like my whole agenda with this is just to get people to be okay with sharing their story. You know, the Bible even says we're overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And that's how people overcome if we share. You never know who's going through the same thing that you went through. The good thing about it is the fact that you're on the other side of it. So now you have an opportunity to share. So that's what I want people to get from it. Like, it's okay to share your story because that's how, we all overcome.
So we are about to take a listen to this single, Best Thing. Now, Will, this is very familiar. So you got to tell us what inspired you to want to share this and kind of re-record this as your first single.
Yeah, for sure. So it's I actually was inspired to, I guess, like do this song. Obviously about 4 years ago, I was pumping gas, and they just had it. They had the original playing on the speakers. Much now you at the gas station, they play music. So that's kind of like what was happening. And I looked at it. I'm like, man, like these lyrics are really something. Jesus is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I'm like, I feel like I can kind of share this, sentiment, like, but in my own way. And here we are, like, years later, we recorded, and it's really, like, I can tell it's only been out for a few weeks, but I can tell that it's touched so many people's hearts, so. And it's a classic song anyway, so my whole thing is, I'm like, Lord, I hope I do it justice, but, yeah, it's real fun.
All right, so Will, is the single available? Is it out now for everybody to go and to purchase?
Yeah, the single's available on Apple Music, on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff.
All right, guys, listen, make sure that you pick up this single. We're about to take a listen to it. But before we do, Will, go ahead and give everybody all of your social media info so they can keep up with you.
Yeah, for sure. So all of my social media is Will McMillan, I or I'm the third, so that's what, so Will McMillan, I. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that.
All right, Will, so what do you have coming up next? What's next for you?
Yes, this is the most exciting time of my whole career. July 20th, my first album, my debut album will be released everywhere. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's entitled My Story. I feel like it's a lifetime experience mixed in with 4 years of hard work, and that we're finally here releasing it. So
All right, guys, here it is. We are about to take a listen to it right now. This is the lead single off of the upcoming album by Will McMillan. This is Best Thing right here on the Inspirational Power Hour.